Hi, this is Stefan G4G, or as I'm known online, Stephanissmart, and I played this game about 10-20 minutes ago, and it was against a player rated 1636, while I was rated 1534, and I thought it would be the perfect game to show how to use sacrifices within a game to gain opposition and a positional advantage. So this is how the game went. My opponent developed pawn to e4, I responded pawn to d5, and I've played right now what is known as, well, what I seem to call the reverse Danish gambit. And if there is a real name for this, please feel free to inform me. And he develops his knight now, I develop my knight. He develops his bishop, hoping to castle over here, and I develop my knight. He castles, and now, after I develop this pawn over here simply to prevent both this knight over here and this bishop, once this pawn is moved, from coming down and threatening my position, I develop my bishop. So now I'm starting to build power and opposition on this king side over here. So he attempts with this pawn over here to try, after pushing up these pawns over here, to try and fork both my bishop and my knight. And this isn't a real threat at the moment, since I have other plans for this bishop over here. So I move my knight, baiting this pawn structure to break over here and threaten it, which I do, end up getting in return. So I simply retreat my knight. After he comes down and pins my knight to my king over here, I simply move up my my queen, and I threaten this pawn over here. My opponent doesn't even think of the lines in which I would take this pawn, simply because it's not how most traditional players play. But I simply take the pawn, and after he takes, I take. And now, as you can see, I have a really dangerous queen on this king side over here, this blown open castle position, and I have the ability over here to castle both ways. So he develops this knight over here, defending this knight. As you can see, because if I were to get rid of this knight over here on f3, there's nothing stopping me from getting a checkmate. So now I develop my knight over here, and I hoped by pulling this check that he would simply come down and try and take, but he didn't. And after 2 tries, I gave up on it, castled, and made another baited position. And as you can see, if he were to take this knight over here, I would end up with a broken pawn structure and a queen threatening my king side as well. But this is exactly what I was hoping for. And after he checked, I moved my king, and he moved once again. And now I've created a deliberate weakness on this queen side over here, and that is to try and develop this rook after and threaten this knight. And I made the weakness, and he accepted. He took the pawn, and after he checked, I moved my king, and had it not been a check, I could have simply moved this knight, checked, and exchanged both my knight and my bishop for his queen. But he saw this and moved his queen, and now I threaten this knight. So he checks, I move my king, and he defends this knight with the queen over here. So now I just started to double up my rooks, and now he made his last blunder over here. And as you can see, he's boxed in his king completely. And he didn't see this at the moment. I simply moved my bishop over here to d6. And as you can see, there's no way for him to get out. Instead of simply moving his knight to h2 and allowing me to checkmate with the queen. And yeah, this is how the game went. And hopefully you enjoyed the video. And my opponent from this game actually requested that I play him again, and I will plan to. And since he does seem to be a pretty good player, and I'll be sure to post that game as well. So if you have any comments or suggestions or lines that I've missed, please feel free to post them. This is Stefan G4G, or as I'm known online, Stephanissmart.